So my specialty as a nurse is in neonatology. Fresh out of nursing school, I went into the neonatal intensive care and absolutely fell in love. I did dabble in a few other things. As a nurse, you tend to have the opportunity to gain experience in different locations. So I worked in a pediatric intensive care unit, every once in a while a cardiac intensive care unit, and actually spent a year in a pediatric emergency department. And all of that translates very well to what I do now. I like to think that my bedside experience lends me not the expertise that all of the nurses that I get to manage on a day-to-day basis have, but the level of understanding to know how to better support them. So my team it's just incredible. You know, I have a team of 5 directors that is supported by about 15 managers. And then from there down, you know, hundreds of nurses. The neonatal intensive care unit here is 64 beds. It has about 192 nurses working in it. And then you look at the pediatric intensive care unit, which not only manages 20 beds of the highest level of care available to children in the community, but also a transport team that can go across 8 counties to support whatever somebody in the community might need from us. We are the only freestanding children's hospital in the state of New York. So it's an honor and it's a pleasure to be able to lead, but also to be able to work alongside this team every single day. The NICU leadership team has done a lot this year to focus on the family. Since due to COVID, we haven't been able to have the traditional visitation of, you know, grandma and grandpa and aunts and uncles coming in. We're trying to spend a lot of time really cultivating that family experience. So now every child that spends any amount of time in the NICU gets a graduation celebration. And we used to have a big sign that they could take pictures next to, but now we let the parents pick the music that they depart to, and they walk through the unit. And depending on what the baby can tolerate, if the baby is more active and alert and can tolerate some noise, we have clapping and tambourines. If the baby needs a lower stimulation environment, then the nurses sort of just surround the family with that love as they exit the building and play whichever song the family has chosen for this monumental moment. I think every mom and dad prepares for, you know, baby's going home outfit and baby's first photo, and the NICU is there in case you need us, but it's not really something you ever want to have to use. And so we try to make each of these moments as valuable as they would be had you never set foot in the NICU. Well, our average daily census is around 51 babies. So in short, the answer is yes. There are a lot of infants in the community that need us. The neonatal intensive care structure has changed over the years. As you've mentioned that technology has changed. So everything from the type of beds that we use to the type of ventilators means that we can take care of even more premature infants than we could have years ago. And we're having great outcomes. We see a great quality of life with those infants. We also have a fantastic surgical team that works with us if there needs to be some type of intervention. The team is cutting edge when it comes to standards of care. So we do therapeutic hypothermia, which is total body cooling of the infant if there is a traumatic birth. So if a baby potentially was without oxygen for part of their birth experience, if you cool the body, it essentially decreases the swelling in the brain due to being without oxygen. And if you decrease the swelling, you essentially decrease the bruising. If you decrease the bruise, you decrease the overall injury, and they still tend to have a great quality of life. We're able to do that not only in the unit, but also with the transport team that specifically for the babies is made up of nurse practitioners and physician assistants. I mean, the Variety Kids Telethon really touches everything within the entire facility. You know, I've only been part of the Oshai family since 2017, and what I can say is that everything that our foundation does, everything that Variety Club does with us and for us, impacts every child, every mother in that building, from the support to our medical surgical floors, which includes equipment, monitoring, nursing education, diabetic education for new diagnoses diabetics, to the rehab work that we worked on as a partner last year with our Robert Warner Center. You probably remember the cool bikes that people rode around on the telethon last year. It touches everybody. And so this year, I think the focus is going to be, how do we continue to have this high quality care, these great outcomes with this partnership, allowing us to utilize these funds, the support from the community at the bedside, as well as we educate those persons going to the bedside.